For all you ranch hands and people interested in GMCs, howdy. This is Jim Bounds with Motorhome Rehab Ranch. And this morning, I did a talk with Western States at their rally on Zoom. I was hoping to record it, but we didn't push the right button. So I'm going to record it here again for you. And what we're going to talk about is what we found out about the body sag, the floor sag, and body pads. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a long video. I may break it up into two sections. We'll see. Okay. All right. So you got to follow me a little bit here. Here's a. Don't talk about my art. It's terrible. I know. Here's the back of the motorhome, the back section. Okay. This purple right here is the 3/4 inch piece of plywood. The blue is aluminum. Blue's aluminum. And black is your frame. Right? When you look at a cross section, this is your frame rail. The C channel on the frame rail runs front to back. All right? So this is what we have for the support. The aluminum comes down here, and right here and here are the body rails. Now, if you think about weight and pressures, this body has all the weight pushing down right on the rail, there and there, right? Now, the frame is about 14 inches inboard from the outside of the body. Okay, you see this? Now, problem is with the weight out here and the support 14 inches inboard. Here, come on down here a minute. Let me show you something here. Okay, this is the floor, wood floor, and out here on the end is the weight. Our frame rails are right here, just like I'm saying up here. Now watch. When you push down like here, watch the middle. See how it bows up? See what I mean? That is what's happening to our coach. The tensile strength of this plywood is what holds the motorhome, the weight, up. And because there's no support at the end, this is what happens. Over the years, the wood loses its tensile strength and the body drops. You see what I'm saying? All right. So come on back up here. Now, so what happens? I'm gonna exaggerate this. What happens with this plywood floor is that it bows. It bows. Okay? Right here in the middle is higher. If you have a coach and it's totally stripped out, no cabinets or anything, if you look at a straight 2x4 from side to side, you'll see the bow. You'll see it'll touch here, it'll be open here and here. Now, you have to take it apart to see that? No. You know, in your cabinets, on a GM floor plan, you look down the hallway. You got your closet here, right? And over here, you've got your bathroom. Okay? Now, when you open the door, your bathroom door, what you'll find 9 times out of 10 is the door is going to hit right here, and you're going to have a gap up here. I thought these two were solid. I mean, we're perpendicular. If it were, when the door opened, it would go right flush with this other cabinet, but it won't. Because the floor has bowed, and this cabinet and this cabinet have come out at the top. Okay? That's how you know that the floor here is bowed. It can't help it. With all this weight on the outside, all this weight here pushing down, right there, this distance here is about 14 inches from here to the weight. The red here are your body pads. Okay. Now, there's nothing in the middle. This aluminum cross member in your floor is flat. There are no gussets on it. There's no strength to it. And that's why it bends. Those aluminum cross members bend right along with the plywood. They don't have any structural strength at all. A thin piece. Okay. So this is the problem. Now, what are we going to do? First thing we're going to do is just like RevCon. Come over here. Let me show you this. Just like RevCon did. This is a picture of a RevCon frame. That's the four-wheel frame. You can see the ladder, they come out further. This makes strength at the end of the body rail. So the RevCon had the right idea. Now if you look over here on ours, this black is our steel frame. And it too is a ladder frame because it has cross members in it. Okay? If you're on the back, you're open, then you have the holding tank, then you have fuel tank, and open, and you have mufflers. But these cross members do not extend out to the body rail. This blue is the footprint of the aluminum body floor. Okay, and these are the cross members. As you can see, from the end of the frame to here, there is no support like there is on a RevCon. And you say, well, why'd they do that? Well, I remember seeing a video that they were very proud to say this coach was designed for a 14-year lifespan. 14-year lifespan? Well, this looks like it lasts a lot longer. I bet you it would. They didn't have engineers that figured out how long something would last here. Here, this would last easily 14 years. We didn't find out about this till about 40 years in. Okay? This is a stronger frame. Sorry. RevCon did a better job on the frame. This frame is a wonderful frame. It's all bolted together too. But it has this problem here with this. Okay? What are we going to do? This is a drawing of the support structure that we're going to bolt to the side, right where each one of these frames, well, not every one of them, we're going to do 4 on each side. We're going to do 1 in the front. This is going to bolt into the same bolts that hold that cross member, and is going to come out 14 inches. And then on the end of that, we're going to take a hockey puck. Did you know that a hockey puck is 1 inch thick and 3 inches in diameter? And the big thing is it's 2 durometers below steel. So it's not going to crush. We'll talk about that in a second. Everywhere that you have an aluminum floor rail across a ladder frame, the steel ladder frame, you want to put a hockey puck. A 1 inch by 3 inch hockey puck, and you glue it in with Gorilla Glue. If you remember, up until about a year ago, we were taking hockey pucks and cutting them in half. And if you think it's easy to cut a hockey puck in half, don't try that at home. You say, oh, I just put it in a bandsaw and cut it. No, it'll shoot across the room. Ask me how I know. Good friend of mine, Nelson. I put it to him. How do you cut a hockey puck in half reliably? Frustrated engineer that he was, he did it. All right? It was very cool. How many people do you see a hockey puck cut in half? So why'd you do that? The reason is originally these pads gave you a 1/2 inch of gap to run the fuel lines, brake lines, wires, and everything over the frame, because you don't go under the frame. You got to go over the frame. Okay? Well, you need at least a reliable 1/2 inch to do that. The original body pads On 73s and 74s was a rubber strap, front to back, front to back, front to back. You say, well, that's pretty cool. They cut a couple of spots in it to run the fuel lines and all the stuff through it. Later ones had little pads. You say, well, why'd they change? Think about this. When I was in college, I thought I was pretty sharp on stereo equipment. I had a big stereo. But the dorm I was living into, all the termites had left because there wasn't anything else left to eat. The room was, the whole building, two-story building, was really in bad shape. And I would shake the whole building with my speakers. Okay? Here's what we did. Put a pint glass, beer glass, of course, under each corner of the speaker. What happened was that effectively decoupled, because if it's on it, that's 100% contact area. So if this thing vibrates, it's going to vibrate 100% into the floor. So we suspended the floor on 4-pint beer glasses. Still got loud music, but it didn't shake the floor. Okay? Use the same concept here. When they had rubber running front to back, you had 100% contact area. Okay? Well, reason they went to pads, if you have less contact area, even if the contact is steel, less contact area will be less transmission of vibration. So when they put these pieces in here, it got quieter. Okay? It's true. Problem was, over 40 years, they crushed, they fell out, had all kinds of problems. This is why the fuel lines on the fuel tanks were getting crushed. You've got brake lines, propane line, all kinds of stuff running through there, and they were getting crushed. Originally, we made 1/2-inch hockey pucks because, one, it'll never crush. Two, if they're glued in, they will not fall out. Okay? And that worked. It gave us those two things. Think about this. You know, on your engine cover, how there's a cutout for the air cleaner? Why is that? Why did they do that? Because there was a clearance issue between the air cleaner and the bottom of the floor. How could that happen? They should have engineers that make sure that well, they did. But my guess is they did not take into account all of the stress right in here, and the body dropped originally on the frame. And it hit the engine cover. So what did they do? They cut the engine cover out. Okay, they couldn't redesign all this. So what we've done this for about 2 years now. Rather than taking a hockey puck and cutting it in half, take the hockey puck and put the whole hockey puck in there. Lift the body at least another 1/2 inch on the frame. Why? Number one, your engine cover won't hit. Number two, when the coach goes all the way to the ground, the wheel liners in the back wheels won't hit as hard. Yeah. If you lift the entire body 1 inch from the frame, clearances are better. Everything works better. It's not going to affect any of the alignment or anything, because remember, the frame's not changing. The alignment specs and all this stuff's not going to change. Won't hurt a thing. Okay? So, body pads. Everywhere that the aluminum, the blue aluminum crossmember crosses the metal, you put a 1-inch hockey puck. And then, on these gussets, you bolt the gusset in, you take a hockey puck and cut it this way. You got a 1/2 a hockey puck. You put that 1/2 a hockey puck right on the edge of the body pad. Now, not only do you have support at these points, you also have support out there. Right there. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one behind the back wheel on each side. That's 8. Okay. Another thing you're going to have to do this, there are mounts on the front. The frame clip comes up front, and here's your front cross member. I should do that in black. Sorry. And your frame, your front cross member, right? There are two body mounts right here. Okay, you're going to pull the bolt out. You can take a hockey puck, drill it, put a little longer bolt. You're going to lift it up at those 2 points. Also in the back, there are two of these drilled donuts. So you lift those up, okay, and then you lift up the whole thing 1 inch. What else do you need to do? All right, you need to disconnect, take out your toilet. Toilet, yes. The toilet flange, if you've ever taken it out, is screwed to the floor, to the wood floor of the coach. But it's screwed into the holding tank, and the holding tank is held to the frame. So when you lift it, you need to take out that toilet flange, disconnect it so you can lift the body and it won't break the holding tank. Ask me how I know about that. You take the toilet out, you take that flange out. There are 4, 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look right under the entry door, you'll see a L bracket. And it's got a flange going up to the body. Okay? You're going to want to take that loose. Take it loose right there. Let it float because we're going to be lifting it up. We'll reconnect it later. So you want to take those gussets, the little short gussets. What they're for is to keep the body down. These hold them from going up and down. These hold them from going up. Okay? So the idea of our frame did not have the built-in gussets like that. They did it another way. My feeling is we need these gussets. We need at least 8 points out there on the end of the body, where the weight is, out here on these rails, to hold that weight up, to keep the floor from doing this. The floor now, when you do this, the floor doesn't have to hold the body up. The frame's going to hold the body up. The floor can be the floor, what it's supposed to be. All right? This is something that we found out. We were doing fuel tanks. And we would finish the tank. The guy would go down the road. He'd call us up and say, something's wrong. It's not venting. The fuel's not going out of the front tank or something like this. What we found was with the body dropping, the fuel tanks are connected to the frame. The body's up here, and it dropped and crushed the fuel hoses. Okay? That's what we had to do when we found out that the fuel tanks had a problem with the body dropping. Okay? All right. This is not available yet. Kind of interesting, at the co-op, we had a lot of ideas and things like this that we were working on when we had to get the plane to the ground. And since then, this motor rehab ranch is going, and you guys understand what we're doing. A lot of folks have come out of the woodwork that have talents that want to help. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ranch hands. Before, I couldn't even get anybody to help me build this. I got 2 people out there. I got 2 of you ranch hands working on this. Not that I wanted to have 2. 1 would be great. What we want to do is we're gonna perfect these kits, and then we're gonna sell them through Applied and through Jeff Serum. Okay, so you're not gonna have to call me or anything like that. You can call them. As soon as we get this done, prototyped, and built, my guess is the next 30 to 45 days. Today is 10/7, so maybe by Christmas. You know how that goes. All right, guys. So I hope this explains to you why the doors didn't open on the inside. Now 73s have only 3/4 inch. After that, they were experimenting with sectional plywood, where they put a piece of plywood in the section, then put one over it. Then they had an aluminum sheet under it with insulation, and then plywood on top of it. So depending on the year you have, they were trying different things. In 75, you know how you can go to the rear wheels and the wheel liner and look behind the wheel liner, you can actually see the side view of the plywood floor. You can actually see that right there in the wheel liner. In 75, they captured that in aluminum. So they realized that this floor situation was a situation, and they were trying different things to fix it, right? I think this is the fix. And I think lifting it 1 inch, let all the clearances clear, is the right thing. I looked in my archives, I had not done a video on this. I did do a video about how to build the gussets, or the concept of it. I think maybe a picture of it. But I did not relate all of it together with the body pads, with a 1 inch body pad, and with the gussets. Now, there were some comments about, well, a hockey puck is almost like steel. That's going to get more vibration. No, no, no. Less contact area is less vibration. Okay? A rubber pad that has cushion to it will crush in this application. What you want is a rubber that has a very, very high durometer where it won't crush. And you want to cut down your contact area. And that's what this does. So don't call me for a body pad kit. Go get a bunch of hockey pucks. All right? Used to be, we would get 20 hockey pucks and cut them in half. That gave 10 hockey pucks, cut them in half, gave us 20 half hockey pucks. So you're going to need 20 hockey pucks. You're going to need 28 hockey pucks, 32 with the holes in them. So call Hockey Pucks or Us. You'll be surprised how cheap a hockey puck is. Why did I choose a hockey puck? Why didn't I go get some rubber durometer and cut them up? Because you can't buy a cheaper piece of rubber that has high durometer than buying a hockey puck. That's just the way it is. All right, I know this is got a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is no good. Oh, this is wonderful. This and that." There are some people out there right now doing their entire frame, and they're putting in gussets. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for their input as they put them in, problems they had. The gusset kit we want to make it a bolt-in for you. And we'll see. Well, guys, thanks for your time. I hope this is helpful. I hope this explains a little bit of what we're trying to do in the future about making the body more solid, getting rid of the droop. You know, we've also talked about chipmunk cheeks where the body is stretching in the front. That's true. Those are happening. Talking about redoing the door because the door doesn't fit. Why is that? Because the body's squishing. There's no vertical uprights that hold the body in place. All the uprights are curved, and curved has the chance that it's going to bow. And it's exactly what happens. If your door doesn't fit right, it's not the problem with the door. It's the problem with the body. Right? So go back and review how to set up your door. Right? All right. Again, thanks. Hit like and subscribe and share. Tell your friends, because that's what's going to make us grow. Right? Ranch hands, thank you for everything you've done, and we'll see you next time.